everyone. So this is Ms.Sparkle Nation International Hunyah and Ms.Sparkle Nation 2022 Annette. And today we are here to talk about holidays and teens. So happy holidays, everyone.
Yes,
Annette,
happy
would you like
everyone.
to share a holiday message?
Our holiday message is cyberbullying and the holidays and how to process them and just kind of find a safe space for you during the holidays, because a lot of times people think of the holidays, they're joyous, they're fun, but there's that taboo subject that a lot of people have a hard time with the holidays. They're
True.
struggling
I
with
agree. And it happens. Like, we don't notice it, but it happens at parties.
Yes, it happens at parties. Sometimes it's, people think it's just in pure fun to joke. It's the holiday spirit. And, a lot of people don't realize that, even the smallest jokes can trigger someone. It can hurt someone's feelings. Those that are secretly, battling, trying to be happy for the holidays.
True, it happens. Like, we don't notice it, but it does.
It does. It happens. And it's most commonly, I think, from my experience, it happens amongst family members. And it can start off with something as simple as, a small joke, and it can escalate from there, unfortunately. Or, it can just start off with, even a comment or a look, and it'll make someone feel, out of place.
I agree. So this is Ms.Sparkle Nation Queens 2022 Cyberbullying Basics, and here we start. So like as what you mentioned in the message, so let's talk about this because it's holidays, it's about teens, see what's in here. So once again, Ms.Sparkle Nation, this is what we're about. The ministry inspires, informs, and empowers women to shine, all sparkle in all areas of life. It is goal to promote unity, gain a sense of purpose. A Sparkle Nation helps preserve the light, and it may shine in the face of adversity. It will ignite others to begin to glorify God. Sparkle encourages everyone to live their best life while doing so, and this organization is for ages 1 to 100 and beyond. And this requires acceptance of self-worth, enabling women across the world sparkle for the nations to see. And she also continues to host workshops, events for children in her background. I think that's from our director, Chantel. That's what she does. So this is the mission and vision. And let's get started. So teens being being bullied. I think you can speak about this, Annette, that is about age, pop culture, peer pressure, self-awareness about appearances, and keeping with school.
Yes, the age, is a big factor, because you have, if it's in high school, especially, during the teen concentration, you have your seniors who've been through it all and kind of forgotten what it's like to be like the new person, or those that are stuck in that between stage and kind of, unfortunately pass on the tradition of seniors picking on the lower level grades. Pop culture as well. If you don't listen to a certain type of music or dress a certain type of way relevant, you can be picked on, and it hurts. I've been picked on. I've mentioned it throughout our series. I was one that was bullied on my looks. Even I was bullied because I wasn't Puerto Rican enough. That's my, race. And so, things like that hurt. Peer pressure. You want to fit in, teenagers want to fit in, but they know if it's something wrong, they feel like they have to do it anyway to have some form of acceptance. And again, another one, self-awareness, and appearance, if, my hair doesn't look a certain way, or if, my clothes don't look a certain way. And also trying to keep up with school trends. It's all hard, especially nowadays where you have Instagram, you have Facebook, all those social media.
And then there's also a thing like that's where cyberbullying kicks in. And it's like there's like the in-person bullying as well. Like that could be physical, mental, emotional, all of these things, but then that's where it comes in because of Instagram. Like, it's not bad to have Instagram, it's actually good, because for me, all the stuff I find is from Instagram. But it's like for teenagers, like it's like, they're transitioning into adulthood, so it's kind of hard for them because they have expectations.
Yes. And it's even, bullying can come from within. You know, you look at yourself in the mirror and you're tearing yourself apart. And that's all because of, external influences, and then when you look in the mirror, you join in those external influences and you can't escape self-bullying. It
Yeah.
becomes really
Like
vicious.
I remember like when I was a kid, everyone would have a pack of Sour Patches. I didn't like eat a Sour Patch until I got older. So I still remember that. And for some reason, it's like everyone's wondering, okay, how come you don't have Sour Patch? I'm like, I don't know why. I would like eat it at like school, like parties and stuff, but I wouldn't like eat it at home because we were told to, okay, that I already had a terrible teeth because of Halloween, I remember. So seeing a kid with Sour Patch thing and then being asked about it, I don't remember exactly, but I don't remember how old I was. Like that's something in there, right? It's like everyone expects you to have the same thing.
Oh, of course. And it's just naturally to want to fit in and belong. But that's where that fine line could be, blurred or crossed, where you're joining in on the bullying and turning it inwards on yourself. And, that's where the negative self-talk will start to develop. Well, why can't I fit in? Why can't I be pretty enough? And why can't I look a certain way? Things that, they feel like they can control ends up going in a downward spiral and, doing self-harm. It's really something that a lot of society has to open their eyes to.
I agree. And that does happen a lot because it's like we don't notice it, but it's because of like movies and all of these things as well. And it just happens. And well, being bullied in the holidays, that could be verbal bullying, physical bullying, racial bullying, and cyberbullying. And I think you
Yes.
can speak more about it.
Yes. And when, especially during the holidays, when you get back from your holiday break, you tend to brag on all the gifts that you got, and someone may not have gotten, the relevant gifts or the coolest gift or the latest, technology. And those that did get those gifts, they kind of can take it in a way of, well, I guess your family doesn't love you enough to get you the very best of, whatever is the hot item of the year. And, during Christmas time, as a kid, or now as a teenager, you're like, okay, I need this. I would really love this for Christmas. And you start making like deals with yourself, like, okay, if I do this, I can get this. But if they don't get it, that's when their world can fall apart. Like, why get the gift? I did what I.
The easiest present to give to someone is always like a Ferrero Rocher or Lindt. That works. Like for me and my siblings, every time we get a Christmas present, we always get chocolates. And that works because everyone's happy with that. It's like if you give someone something else is like, so these arguments and then there's so much stuff. And
Yeah.
then when you go to school, there's arguments about that too. That
Yes.
why you have a new shirt. And I remember once, I think this was a grade 6, I got this shirt over, I think, the spring break, and a girl I know who actually bullied me, I don't know where is she now. She had the same exact shirt the same day, and she was like to me, "Oh, did you copy my clothes?" I still remember that when it comes to gifts.
Yes. And then, it carries with you into adulthood. The teen years, they say,
Yeah, I just cleared my throat.
but really is when we develop that social interaction where, we're teenagers, we want to fit in, we want to relate so badly that, you get the verbal bullying. Oh, well, I guess you're not worthy enough for your family to get you what you wanted. The physical is like you said, why are you wearing the same shirt I got? Why are you copying? And when it comes to relational, bullying, you invest, whether it's, your first boyfriend, your first crush, you're exchanging gifts and it's not what you wanted. You can make, your first crush or your first love feel horrible. That's a form of bullying. And then cyberbullying, you'll see people taking pictures and you don't know who's taking a picture of you, and they can put it up and say, hey, this is what I got for Christmas. This person didn't get it. They're a loser. So
yeah,
it's a really
it happens. And then the thing is, like with holidays, like you often go out to parties as well, right? There's a whole thing where you just sit and you talk, and then you never know the other person right next to you. You don't know what they're gonna say the next minute when you leave. Like recently with me, I don't know if this comes in a holiday or something to do with bullying, but I was at this event recently on the last Friday, and I was told, and what I found out, my former boss, she's first of all, she's already jealous of me with my titles. That is one thing. That's why I had to block her off. I'm not going to say her name. The other thing is she literally flips the whole situation and makes me sound so like, not the way how you know me, just because I am doing I'm just more progressive with her and she's not my boss anymore. And then she literally just like goes ahead and says before they're recording, I don't know what they want to do, is that no, you know what, that just do that with Hunyah. I overheard the entire conversation. I literally overheard it. And that's why I told my mom, this is what I was trying to warn her about, that the person that she works with, she is not nice to me. She's been bullying me like that for quite a while. And that's where all this verbal bullying and all this, and because she was literally saying that, do this with Hunyah and whatever, that just, I don't know if it's like some kind of some complexity or something, but that's what I kind of noticed. And it's towards holidays. She was like, oh yeah, but just do this. She was making announcements like these. When I explained to her, no, that if you are in a pageant, they make a public announcement. I tried to explain to her that about a few months ago. She didn't understand it. She flipped that around and said, no, you know what? That just because I'm doing better than her, because right now I'm at so many places. So that was pretty recent, and it was like just verbal bullying when I'm not even there.
Yes, and it's sad especially when it comes to holiday parties, and teenagers love holiday parties. They love to get that invitation, and just when they think
on Zoom, where I overheard the entire conversation. That's why I with me, like the next day, I just quietly just said hi and just said I gotta go. I have to honor for my grandma's sister. So that's what happened. So, anyways, I talk about it with the rest of the family members. They're like, yeah, you know what? My former boss says she's not worth it if she's doing this behind my back just because I'm doing something that she's not at my level. I'm not gonna stoop down at her level just because she just did that. Because her only thing is no, that you can't, like, if you're progressive, then you can't be good, and that's all what she's doing.
And that's and someone that's in your social circle, not directly to you but around you, and that's saying those things, it spreads around and it's hurtful.
Yeah, and it's spreading rumors, and it's like spreading rumors also comes in holidays.
Right.
And this was actually pretty recent. This was last week. So it was pretty shocking. But after that, like, I already blocked my former employer's number because she was bullying me already like 6 months before. And that was way before I got into Sparkle Nation. And then even after she was doing that, so after that, when she did that, like last Friday, I figured out, okay, then it's a good thing I have her blocked, because I don't want negativity from her just because I'm doing better than her and she cannot go to that level. Because she doesn't, because she don't even try to understand what is pageant. She's just trying to just try to bully me over that just because she's not my boss anymore. I'm just progressing more than her. That's it.
And that's hard. And again, being bullied during the holidays, in holiday parties, not receiving that information that you thought you were going to get, for teens, it can be devastating. It can be hard. Even going,
but it's like something I can relate to in that thing, like what you're saying. Like, it's like so much backbiting, so much this and that, just for what? Just because she's not at my level. That's pretty much what it is.
Yes.
And I think she's not at anyone's level at Sparkle Nation. If that's what my former boss is doing.
Right. And you know what? Maybe, she just, a lot of people, bullying comes from their own insecurity. Bullying comes from where they would love to try something and they'll see someone do it. And that's when the jealousy will come in. And,
that's the thing. That's why when I discuss with my family members, we're like, we're not gonna go down to her level. She's in the worst to me, she can, but I'm not gonna go down. Like, something will happen with her. So that's why it doesn't worry me. That okay, because I've been bullied enough already, like way how you have, like throughout your life. So having this as another additional problem is better to just let her say what she's saying.
Oh, of course.
Like my former boss.
What people say about us, and when people say things about me or whatever.
Jealousy, it's clearly like that's all my boss wants, is like that's all my boss has insecurity for, that just because she's not my boss anymore, and suddenly she just wants to spread rumors just for that reason, just because I'm way ahead of her.
Right.
And at her personal, I don't know if she's seeing it at a personal level or professional level, but just because of that. And that's why I felt like it's a good thing I wasn't at that conversation actually last Friday, because this is what she was telling behind my back. And it was so, like, if I was to actually tell you, if I was to show you the video, you'll be shocked.
Oh my goodness. And
That's how bullying is
can't
happening.
control what people say about us. Teenagers can't control what other teenagers say about them,
True.
but they can control how they process the bullying. They can control staying away from that person. And it's a hard lesson to learn as a teenager because you kind of just want to go with the flow. But when that flows to drown you, then they feel alone, then they feel isolated. And, it just takes a one incident to ruin a holiday for life, you know?
I agree. Like, I'm pretty sure you must have had those days where you're thinking about your exam, and you're thinking about your teacher, and then you're thinking about that one, I think, like classmate who's like bothering you. I remember having those days too as a teen. That was like, I think it was I was 16 and 17 at that time, and exams were coming. Like, have you had those days? Because I had those kind of ones.
Oh, yes, of course. I've had, incidents in, my life where it's like, I've been in this situation before and I kind of don't want to be because something negative came out of it. And the only way to just come to peace with it is trying to find some type of learning element from it, whether it be, well, I've moved past it, or, it's been so many years since it happened. I don't think just burying it is healthy because anything
Yeah,
buried triggered and surface. You have to find a
it's
way.
always good to talk about it.
Yeah, even if it's,
And
about it, or, punching a pillow.
yeah, I agree. And when it's like, do you know someone who's being who has been bullied? It's always good to know because there's always like tons of people who are ready to help out. Yet the same, and there's some that just want to keep bullying and bullying. Like, that
Right.
happens. I think you and me, we can relate to that question as
Yes.
well.
And, on here it says, what can you do to prevent this from happening? Yes. Ask the person, go up to them, do you need a friend? Do you need someone to talk to? There are hotlines that are being developed, mental health, and just those that want to talk anonymously. You don't have to give your name, just someone to talk to know that, you're not alone. And it can be very lonely being
Mhm.
bullied and you become
Mhm.
inward, but
Yeah.
knowing that there are more resources that are going into mental health is so important nowadays, especially
True,
again.
because bullying affects mental health. Like, I remember when it used to affect my mental health when I was a kid, and I had to go and see a psychiatrist for that reason. Because I always had, like, I didn't have the best marks like until like I was like much older, and then like I wasn't like that involved until I was in high school. Like, I was like the least. I used to have the least marks in participation, and then in high school I was like in like associations. I was like, I was like all around, right? So it just happens. And it's like now it's like you don't want to go back to the same thing again at this age.
Yes, you don't want to be triggered, by anything. And it's so important to, and I'm a big believer in therapy, whether you see a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, whether you do.
True. And it bugs. Like, it bugs you throughout, like from when you're a child. Like, even like I think the thing how you say that with you is like you have to straight up your hair every time because you've had that. With me, it's like I don't know exactly what was it, but it's like, I just like to do what I do. That's the thing.
Yes. And a lot of people, again, they wish they can, be brave enough to, do certain things. I mean, am I brave enough to wear my natural hair? Sometimes, but I'm not going to pick on someone because they're wearing their natural hair and I don't feel comfortable wearing mine. I
True, so
embrace
go with
them.
it.
I see it as, inspiration. And, you know, a lot of therapies are available. You have, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapies. Those all are great tools for those that have been bullied, for those that unfortunately keep the cycle and turn into bullies themselves. And they
Yeah,
may not
they're mostly
know
bullies because they're insecure, like the most
right.
part. That's usually some kind of insecurity coming out from somewhere.
Oh, yes, of
And
course.
I
Of course.
recently actually taken a CBT program recently
Mhm.
from this thing that I'm taking, this new training. And actually, thing is, what they talk about that if you're in cybersecurity, CBT actually is something that you deal with a lot. So that was a whole new concept to me. And personally, CBT, I recommend that to everyone because it's so common, it's so popular, but it's so good at the same
It
time.
is. It's very therapeutic. And even, if someone doesn't feel comfortable going to, a doctor's office, or, they want to stay anonymous and utilize those help numbers, there are many different techniques that you can use to kind of just bring yourself some comfort. You can do, walking meditations, you can do guided meditations. There are plenty of resources out there where, the healing is possible. Is it easy? No, I'm not going to lie. It's not easy at all. It's, it's something where you have to literally come out of yourself.
It
and
takes
just,
a while.
It does. It takes,
like in my adulthood, it didn't bug me that much, but like maybe like at the end it did. But it's like my like in the teens and in like when I was a kid, only that time. But it's like you learn how to deal with it as well.
Yes. And, when I was younger, seeing, a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist, that was very not talked about. That was kind of like a taboo subject, as to where now, thank goodness, it's being seen as a positive. It's okay. And one of my favorite sayings is, it's okay not to be okay.
True. I agree.
It's perfectly fine. And, you can't smile all the time. It's not healthy to smile all the time. You need those ranges of emotions of happy and sad and angry. And, it just all really falls into the hands of how you deal with it.
I agree. And I think this concludes our presentation for holidays and teens. And Annette, anything you want to add?
I'm sure I would just love to add, everyone have a safe and happy holidays. One of the biggest ways you can avoid bullying, stay away from hot topics.
I agree. And everyone, I just want to wish you happy holidays as well. So we'll be talking about more things in the next year. So I hope this is helpful to those watching, and we'll be back with a new episode in January. So thank you for watching. This is from Ms.Sparkle Nation International, Hunyah, and Ms.Sparkle Nation 2022, Annette. So bye.
Bye-bye.